Good morning, all. Okay, we'll continue our book reading today on Toyota Way to Service Excellence. Still looking at lean transformation in service organization. Yesterday, we continue from principle 3, which says strive for one piece flow without stagnation. We also looked at value added versus stagnation. It also told us another word for stagnation is waste. And the reason for lean is to identify or help. Lean is to identify the waste you have in your organization and eliminate this waste. So today we'll continue from there on page 157. So the concept of sales in service organization. The concept of sales in service organization. Cellular manufacturing is manufacturing's way of making smaller versions of moving assembly lines. While the Toyota automotive assembly line is very long with hundreds of workstations sneaking through the plant, a cell is generally small, that is 5 to 10 processes, and may be shaped like a U or L or configured with two parable banks of machine. The goal is to attain one piece flow and also be flexible enough to add subtract people based on customer demands. Customers demand enough to add. Customers demand is represented as TACT, the average rate at which customers are buying the product and different variants of the product. When demand is stable or the schedule is effectively leveled by a scheduling group, it is possible to accurately collect the number of people, machine capacity, and work in process inventory. This is all well and good if you have a relatively small number of products that physically flow and it's feasible to calculate a TACT. How do we calculate TACT and get so precise in high variable service processes? In many cases, the answer is simple. It's simply that we cannot get so precise and it is a waste of time to try. Sacrilegious. For those who deeply understand lean, there is no religion, just practical reality. For many services, one piece flow is more of a metaphor to help envision a future direction than a precise model to imitate. As an example, we help an auto rental company with a lean transformation focused on rental sites and all office functions. Behind the scene of the rental sites that the customers see, there is a fleet of office that manages the purchase of cars from auto companies and the allocation of those cars to different rental sites. Frankly, when we began working with the company, it was a mess and sites never seemed to have the right cars at the right time based on customers' needs. Part of the current state analysis looked at communication patterns and wastes of walking almost 16,000 feet. Sorry, I'll take that again. Part of the current state analysis looked at communication pattern and wastes of working in the fleet office layout. On a typical workday, each employee worked almost 16,000 feet. They were grouped by specialty and communication was poor. A complete redesign of the work area layouts to eliminate walls and create work cells composed of people in different functions working side by side cut work time in half, improved communication, and improved getting the right cars to the right site. We worked on a similar issue for a Navy repair and overhauled facility where employees put together work packages. These work packages were documents that needed to be filled out and placed in a folder to, to authorize a particular job done to repair or overhaul a submarine. Part of the task include researching the repair needed and creating engineering drawings, mapping of a current state, and a spaghetti chart of work package process. And a spaghetti chart of work package process reviewed a large number of handoffs, often from one department to another, and documents were very well traveled, almost 31,000 feet. After changing the work area from people scattered across 3 floors of a building organized by functional departments to work cells for specific category of work packages, there was a 55 to 92% reduction in travel distance depending on the nature of the work package. A 67% reduction in process step and an 80% reduction in handoffs. Total lead time of creating a work package so that actual repair work could begin was reduced by 73%. As the new system was refined within the new layout, quality and productivity also improved dramatically. It is remarkable what can come of people with different expertise sitting side by side and working collaboratively. This is not to say that creating cells by changing the layout of the office is an ideal lean solution. Once again, we emphasize that each organization must understand its own desired function state and find creative way to achieve the right goals. We only want to emphasize that striving for one piece flow, which have been so effective in manufacturing, can also be effective for office work to streamline communication and reduce lean time. Okay, so this is where we'll stop for our reading this morning, talking about creating cells in organization to be able for work to flow smoothly. Now, it's still reminding us that it is not mostly for a manufacturing industry. It can also be done in any organization. Like he told us in the beginning, the lean transformation is not something you can imitate, or it's not something you can copy. You can see it as a manual that you use to organize things in your own company or your own organization. So talking about the concept of sales and service organization, creating a synchronized flow of work based on based on your customers' demand and the customers' need. Instead of separating each department or making people that are supposed to be doing the same thing stay in separate places, it's better it puts them all in one place so that they will do the same thing at the same time. And another thing is that is going to, eliminate some kind of hitches on the road. Like he said before, like he said in the last paragraph we just read, it will reduce travel time. The time you used to walk from this department to this department. Imagine customer service is down here, then you have another customer service up there, and you even want to exchange communication or know what to do or some documents, you have to start leaving the first floor to go to the second floor to talk to the other customer service personnel. So it's better for the both customer service personnel to stay in one cubicle. That is what we call the synchronized flow of work, so that they will be able to communicate and know what to do when the time arises. Okay, we look at the diagram here, which is showing us this is what you call batch processing inventory. It hides problem when a system is divided like this. You have three same systems divided like this. There's no effective work flow. There's confusion, and the next thing information doesn't flow well, or communication doesn't flow well. But when it is synchronized, it flows well. The next person knows what the next person is doing. It is easier to communicate to the next person with what he or she wants. It causes the one piece flow problem surface quickly. Like this, you'll be able to solve problem quickly, but like this, you won't be able to solve problem quickly. Okay, so that is it for our reading this morning. Thank you.